Good morning. My name is Tom, and today's lawn and garden video is about dealing with grubs. Because, it's early spring, it's time to actually start this work, and we'll go over options. My preferred option over the years to protect my lawn from grubs has been milky spore. Now that I love because it specifically attacks an invasive species, and only an invasive species, Japanese beetle grub. It's not really a spore, it's a bacterial infection. It comes from South Jersey, and it's a naturally occurring bacteria. It's not some lab-grown super bug. These are all things I like. Finding that natural solution, doesn't involve poisons, isn't going to have any secondary poisoning effects, and kind of is moving towards restoring your natural biodiversity by removing an invasive species and only the invasive species. Now, those grubs are a feast for moles, and moles are terrible for your lawn too. Taking away their food source is sometimes a better option than trying to trap and poison all of those. Again, poisons come with their own problems. Now, there is a downside to milky spore, though. Besides, it'll only kill one thing, and if you have others, it won't kill them. But its other big downside is that because it's a bacteria and because it needs, normal living conditions, you can't really put it down until your ground temperature is above 65 degrees Fahrenheit. That doesn't happen in the spring where I live. We're too far north for that, so I have to wait till summer. So that leaves the grubs unchecked in spring. Another downside to it is the further north you go, the harder it is for that bacteria to proliferate. So you end up using it 3 or 4 summers in a row before you really get the full effect. Whereas if you're in like South Jersey or further south than that, the stuff will take off with 1 or 2 applications, and your Japanese beetle grub problem is gone. Yeah, the stuff is kind of expensive, but like I said, it has a lot of benefits in that it leaves everything else to have that healthy natural biodiversity that I like having in my yard. Unfortunately, I've come to accept that my problem isn't just the Japanese beetle grub. I have other grubs that are feeding the moles, and this spraying is particularly nasty, so unfortunately I have to go with a poison. I'm going with Grub-X. This is also kind of an expensive one, and it attacks pretty much all grubs. Unfortunately, it'll also attack earthworms. Positives: that small bag, even though it's like $38, will cover 5,000 square feet. Number 2, take away the moles, all of the moles' food source, and you do it rapidly. It's a fast-acting poison. It's not a slow, lingering one. As a positive, it's got a very short life for the poison's chemical makeup, so that after a day and a half, 2 days, once things have dried out, your yard is safe again for your critters, pets, small children, natural animals, squirrels, and so forth. But the downside is you've got a day or so where you can't let your dogs outside, or your cats. You can't let the kids play outside. Its other big downside, besides killing off all the other grubs and earthworms and things that belong, is that water. This stuff, in order to actually seep in and penetrate to and activate as well, water activates it and penetrates it into the soil, you need an inch of water. So basically you need to wait till just before rain, and a good amount of rain too. You need to be watching reports and watch multiple sources of information, not just one, so you get a good idea of what the weather will actually do. You got to get it down before the rain, let it get rained in, and then you got to wait for everything to dry out. So your backyard might be off limits, or your entire lawn might be off limits for the next 2-3 days. But you try the natural solution, you find out you got more problems than the invasive species, and sometimes you are forced to use a poison. And so you try to pick one as responsibly as you can, as limited as possible. It's not like Spectricide, which will kill freaking everything. And it has a very short lifespan for the poison, so that you don't have to worry about it, potentially poisoning your cats and dogs a week later. Well, that's all on the grub options. Thank you for watching. Like, share, subscribe, and comment, and have a good day.